welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 1 of 2 of Build and Destroy. I will show you how to make the base layout that I use and track placement and the electronics. I do not take credit for the electronics. I will post the link to both videos that I'm using. I am incorporating a trap base into this as well as the unlimited power. I'm not going to call it a glitch or a bug, but it's what has to be done right now for the batteries to work, unfortunately. So, let's get started. Start off by a 3, and then on the sides, just like that. And wall it all in. We're actually going to wall it all the way in, all the way around, because we're going to have access from the second floor, not the bottom. So, there's floor 1 done. We're going to have a garage door just here, and our TC is going to go in this part just here, followed by, if it's not going to let me place because I need to authorize. Good start. That there, and then I'm going to put half wall with a triangle above it. I'm going to do the triangular unlootable loot room just here. This is for a vanilla server more than anything, because we all know that some modded servers allow you to remove walls. I recently played on one, and to be honest, kind of don't like it that much. And we're going to do the same up here. Now, if you have trouble placing this back wall, which I sometimes do, you can try either side first, which doesn't always work. What I have found does work is place floor there, and then remove the floor. And we're going to do the same as we did downstairs and secure it in either side and go all the way around. Like so. And then we're going to do the unlootable loot rooms in either side of here with the windows. One there, and the same again this side. One there, one there. And then remove that, and we're going to put another garage door or a double door. We're going to go garage door on this one. If some of you have watched my destruction video, you may realise that the build is slightly different. Unfortunately, the file from the first one corrupted, so I've got to remake everything. Oh, the joys of recording videos. So we're going to have this one opening outwards. Make sure this opens outwards because it will become apparent later on. And then we're just going to seal ourselves in. Open up and seal that in. Job done. So we've got TC loot rooms, which we will put boxes in just so you guys can see. And we'll go. You can lock these, but with the new recent patch, they can get into the loot anyway if they move it correctly, or if they hit the right part of it now. And then we're going to seal that in with a window. Okay, so go back upstairs, and we're going to do the same for the 2 loot rooms. One there, and one there. Make sure you put it far enough back that you can get the window frame in, because we kind of need that in an unlootable loot room. One there, and then go to the other side, one there, and one there, and then down here, one, and two. Seal those in, and before I forget the roof, seal the roof in. Right, now we're going to start on our front door after we remember to turn the walls round, which if some of you have seen the other video, I did forget to do in that one. So you're just going to flip, flip, flip. Terrible for this. I always do it. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way that opens, to be honest. And then we're going to go down here, that on there, and seal that in there. Then we go from there, there, there. We're going to have a window frame there, and we're going to seal that in there. Door frame, door frame, door frame, door frame. Okay, so put our windows in, or our shop fronts, whatever you want to call them. That way nobody can door camp us. Have that opening inwards, that opening outwards, that one opening inwards, and that one outwards. Okay, so I'm going to put a ladder hatch, make sure the ladder hatch is facing that way, so that then, if it's open, and all your doors are open, and they've managed to make it this far in, you've got that last little bit of cover. Right, up here we're going to do one, two, and then move that. 3, 4, move that, and move that, and then we will seal this part in. And this will become very apparent later when we start putting the traps in. And there we go, that is the base generally done. Oh, I forgot another wall, because I do that a lot, as I told you. There we go. There we go. I am playing on the US Sandbox server, so I'll give you a quick tour of the base, and then we'll do the electrics and the trap placements. And also the room for the rest of it. And when I say unmovable root rooms, if you've got these, it does make a difference. So we're going to put all these in here real quick. There we go. So we're going to put our research bench right down here with a nice big box right underneath. Also going to put a box up here. Now, if you're like me and you struggle to do these ones, just stick a box down, get your placement, pick the box back up. Okay, we're going to put our furnaces, one here and one here, and the level 3 for on this occasion will go there. And as some of you know, you can put boxes underneath there. I don't tend to, because it affects me getting to this room. Some people can get the placement right, I just can't. So there is our base. We can get a locker, if I can find the locker, bear with me. Items. Place. Oh, I already have one, look at that. blocker in there. There we go. Slight lag spike for a second, and then we're going to have that ready for later. So we have our loot rooms, we have our research table, we have our furnaces, and we have our level 3 workbench. Now we're going to start on the lovely fun of the electronics. I find this works best when you're using multiple. It's not going to let me place it, which is going to be a pain. Okay. Is it going to be nice? I don't think it is. Nope. Okay, so the way we counteract this is if we use a couple of solar panels on top of it. And obviously, we want one facing west, east, and we're going to put this one facing east as well. Now with the lovely update, we can root combine multiple things. I'm going to try and do this as neat as possible. I am not the neatest person in the way of putting these together, but you'll get the general idea. Oh, that's the plan anyway, it's the general idea. So, that gives me 79 power. If we then join these two up as well, 1 and 2, and join that up, that gives me a combined of 106 power. Okay, so we need our battery, our splitters, and all of that, which I'm using 2 different electrical systems here, so bear with me and we'll try and get it working. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the F1 menu real quick just to get these, which is items. No, it's not items, it's miscellaneous. I need 4 of those, 2 of those, 1 large battery, 1 electrical branch, and 1 OR switch, which I believe I already got. Just in case. I need an extra door controller. I know I do that. Okay, so we're going to jump back down. And we're going to just... Oh, wrong button. Come all the way up here into our back electrical room. So we're going to place our battery. Not overly determined on where this goes, it doesn't matter that much as long as you can access it. So we're going to go from there and put a splitter on this back wall, and then we're going to run our cable from our root combiners, if I can get close enough. There we go, over to there. Close the door, down there, and there we are, we have our power. So from that splitter we are going to go to the electrical branch, and we're going to need a blocker, and we're going to need our OR switch. So put our electrical branch blocker and our door switch. So we go from splitter over to the input of the OR switch. Take another one from the splitter to the electrical branch. Now the electrical branch has two outputs. The output on the right is going to go to our battery, and our output on the left is going to go to our branch pass-through, our blocker pass-through, sorry, like so. And then we're going to have our power output into our blocker, and then the blocker is then going to go from the blocker output to the OR switch. Now, if this is rigged up correctly, one, you should get a green light and red light because it's daytime, and this should be charged. Your large battery should be charging, which it is. It's a good start. Right, so next we need 4 splitters, our normal switch, our laser, and I've got an extra door control, but we'll sort that in a second. On this wall, I'm going to put our switch, our splitters, and we're going to need to put 2 blockers, like so, and we're going to need our timer, which is, that's because it's on that. We're going to put that there. Right, so we go from our OR switch to our normal switch, so we can turn this off and on whilst we are actually using the base. So we're going to power up this. This still has 55 power, which is more than enough to run everything we need to run. So we're going to go from the splitter on output 1 to the laser, which we're going to stick on this part of the door right here. You got to try and get it as close as you can to the door, like so. And now we can run our power from the splitter up, along, and over, and plug it in. From the second output on this, we're going to run this to the timer input. Now from the timer output, we're going to go to our blocker pass-through on the first one. And then from our toggle on, this is going to go to the other part of the laser, which is like that. So we have everything all set up. Now every time you push the switch, this comes on. Wonderful. That's a good start. Right, we're then going to go from our splitter up to the next splitter. And then from this splitter, we're going to power both of these blockers. So there's one. There's 2. There we go. And from the power out of the first one is going to power our next splitter. And then this splitter is going to go into the pass-through of this blocker, and this blocker is going to power our 4th splitter, like so. I need to grab another door controller, And I need some code locks. So, we'll come back up here, and we will pair that, and lock that. Pair that, and lock that. And for the third one, pair that and lock that. There we go. We now just need to run our cabling from these three. If you hide, this is actually not hidden quite as well as I was hoping, because if you hide it enough, we're just going to drop that down a little bit. When the door is open, and unlock real quickly. There we go. When the door is open, it's hidden by the door. And this door is actually going to stay open, and we will show why in a second. So, the door that you want to close on the trap is connected to your third splitter. And then the other two is connected to the fourth one. I'm not an electrical engineer by any way, shape or form. However, I'm sure there are a few electrical engineers out there that will be able to explain why it works this way. But it works. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Drop it down there. Try and keep the cable in as hidden as possible to there, so that when we turn that on, all our doors are closed. I don't think this one's paired properly. For some reason we're not getting power. Why are we not getting power? Our laser isn't receiving power for some reason. I don't know why, and we're going to see here in a second. Okay, so you're going to be a pain, and we can't pick them up anymore. So that's why. For some reason, it didn't connect when we connected it up, which would actually help a little. So we're going to reconnect this real quickly. There we go. And power out. I'm not sure why it didn't connect the first time, but it's about to. There we go. We now have power. Okay. And now we work on the traps. So we're going to need shock traps. One. Just in here. Two. In here, which makes them the undrainable traps, which we all love when we play Rust. And just for a change of pace, we're going to put a sentry turret down here as well. Just auth on that. Then turn on. Right, we're then going to go back up top. And we'll put more traps down. So we're going to put a trap just here, and then we've got one in here, two in here. You can use auto turrets for this. When my friends were showing the effective way to raid this base, they did mention putting auto turrets in, and it does work. It was a very good idea, and it would have really given them a bad day. And we're going to need a few more shotgun traps because we made this bit out here higher for a reason. And doubled it up so that we can put the shotgun traps in the wall. And that's the boat leaving or turning up. And there we go. So that when we do raid, or do get raided, which is, as everyone knows that plays Rust, inevitable, as you can see, it is very difficult to see the laser on this part. If you do, however, have an issue, you can do a multiple of things. You can set off the trap, apparently. Let's just go turn that off real quick, because this trap does get annoying when you are in base. It is a great base defense for being online raided and offline raided. You can put a sleeping bag down, which we all know works on hiding the trap. If we jump back up, the beam stops on the sleeping bag, so you cannot see it, but a lot of people do pick up on that. However, one I did find is the same thing works with a small box. And if you've got a small box just tucked innocently next to your locker or whatever else you have placed there, we'll actually place that a little bit too close. There we go. Still a little bit too close. Hang on, let's try. There we go. As you see, it's blocked by that, but it still activates when you go through it. Wonderful. And then, once you do go through it, these doors open, these doors close, and obviously because it's locked and it's an armoured door, they ain't going to survive very long. Once you're down here, you can put your sleeping bags in this position right here, and depending on your preference, I do know some people like to put garage doors here and here as well, and one here just to be a pain. And there we have it, guys. That is how we build this trio base. I've been Reaper Smurf. Hope you enjoy. Have a good night.